Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's me again, Chelsea, and we have got another indie inspired video, and these are 4 indie books that I've read so far this year that I've absolutely loved. So I think, if my maths is correct, all 4 of these books have received 5 stars. I've read more indies than this, but these are my top picks for this year, not month, this year. And we're going to start off with one that I physically own. It's right here, and it's none other than A Touch of Light by Tiago Abdallah. This is the first book in the Ashes of Averin series, and it was 5 stars. I loved this. This was so good. I really enjoyed the introduction to the world. Also out so far is a prequel novella called A Prelude of Ashes, and the second book, Shades of Madness, which I am still reading. I'm very behind on my reading, but this was a 5 star. So we are following a whole heap of different perspectives, if I remember correctly. So to start off with, we have got Adrian, who is a prince from one of the Dominion realms. He experiences a lot in this book, I have to be honest. I'm not going to tell you a lot about it because it is a spoiler, but we are following his perspective. We are following Lynn, who is a rogue warrior. She used to fly with griffins, which there are these in this book, and they're very cool. And finally we are following Nasha, who is from the Ronar, which is a southern clan. She is a very gifted hunter with a terrible secret, and I like all 3 of these perspectives because they go on completely different journeys, and you see loads of different perspectives that all come together in the end. Love that. I love Adrian's arc because he is put through some hell. Actually, all of these characters are put through it, but I really felt for Adrian, if I'm honest. Lynn, I think, kind of comes into her own, and Nasha, I really love her arc as well because there's this terrible secret. There's so much for her to unpack, and in the beginning of her perspective, she speaks about how she's been used in the past and her position in this clan, and I just really love how it all comes together, and how it even continues into the second book, and how it is bolstered up as well with the prequel. So definitely a series that you check out. Definitely a series you should check out. I know a lot of booktubers love this, and other indie readers absolutely adore this series, and rightly so. So that's the first one of the 4. Next up we have a fantasy book that I listened to audibly, and I am still planning to continue this series as it was 5 star, and that is Along the Razor's Edge by Rob J. Hayes. I've spoken about this book multiple times in different videos. I really loved how Esker was written. Esker is our main character. She is quite young, actually, I would say, and she is in prison. And she's in a terrible prison. Like, it's not just a prison, it's like a mine kind of thing. If you've ever read Throne of Glass, the mines that Selena starts off with is similar, that kind of vibe where you work to death. Obviously there is like a lot of backhanders going around. It's a very dingy place. You don't want to be there. It's a fantastic book, and I really appreciate Esker as a character. The other characters that you see around her are also really cool. Actually, well, they're not cool, but they're really well done is probably the better way to say it. I love the way Rob J. Hayes writes. I think it's amazing. Obviously I gave it 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I think you should check it out. He has written a whole heap of different titles in different series, and I don't know how he does it, but he has. I have got plans to read all of his books at some point. I would love to, but obviously my TBR is never ending, so this is one that I need to carry on with. And also the paperbacks for these are stunning, but the hardback books for this series are absolutely phenomenal. I want them on my shelves. Whether I will buy them or not, I don't know, but I want them on my shelves. The next book I want to talk to you about is actually an indie sci-fi, and that is Wistful Ascending by R.C.M. Byrne, I think, if I'm remembering that correctly. This is a sci-fi, as I've just said. Our main character is an ex... He's basically a superhero. That is the way that I took it in. He's basically a superhero, but he was really high up in the army, and now he basically brings ships into the spaceport. So he flies in space and safely docks spaceships. And in this book you kind of find out why he took a step back, why he is basically slumming it, essentially, in this spaceport. It's really sweet. There's a romance in this, but it's a really sweet romance, I think, in my opinion. Like, it's not too heavy-handed. You do hear a lot about his backstory. You get context, because it is kind of like, oh, when people find out who he is, they're like, oh my gosh, you are this person. And they're like terrified, and he's like, I'm not that person anymore. Like, I've walked away from it. It's really interesting. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was good fun. There's also like a relationship between our main character and this like young boy, and it's really adorable. Not like a weird relationship, like an adorable like friendship almost. Like, this young boy just always turns around to him and goes, your clothes are horrible. He's a really sassy child, and the guy's like, okay. And at one point he goes, well, can you help me pick out some clothes? Like, make me more stylish. I thought it was really cool. I'm not sure if I'm making it sound as cool as I found it, but I really enjoyed it. Great sci-fi, and they're also not long books, so as much as I am loving the Shards of Earth book, which is by Adrian Tchaikovsky, that is like such a big world to pick up on that it can just feel like a lot, whereas I feel like Wistful Ascending, they explain the world really well. It's short bursts of information and it flows really nicely. So again, if you're looking for a sci-fi that is not like, you know, Dune level sci-fi and is indie, this is your perfect pick, because I feel like it just eases you into the world rather than just throws you into it, you know? Final book I want to talk to you about is 5 Silver Rings by Zach Argyle. He writes, you can see it here, this amazing series, which is the Threadlight trilogy, which I love, and is 5 stars as well. This isn't set in that world at all. It's completely separate, but it's like a really short story. I believe you can get it if you sign up to his newsletter, I think. But it's so good. Really enjoy it. The premise of it is a woman and her husband come home from work one day, and this creature comes out from the forest and basically says it's time to collect, and kills her husband. And this woman is just left reeling. She doesn't know why this has happened, what this creature is, what's going on. And her husband has made these rings to her every year for the past 5 years, and she finds there's this machine in one of their workshops, and if she drops a silver ring into it, it kind of plays back a memory to her. And it's just so well done. It's actually pretty phenomenal in my opinion. These rings hold these stories, and you get like a backstory that she never remembers. She doesn't remember that has happened to her, and you just kind of see the journey that kind of leads up to the moment that has just happened. I thought it was really well done, especially in a short story. There's a lot of context in a very short amount of time. It's quite emotional, I suppose, if you have emotional feelings. I'm probably the wrong person to ask about that. I've yet to cry at a book, and I've read many books that people do cry at. That's just a me thing, I think, but definitely worth checking out, especially if you just want to like experience Zach Argyle's writing in short form before you dive into the series. It's really great. It's amazing. Can't recommend it enough. So there are 4 books I've rated 5 stars this year so far. I'm hoping that I'm going to find more books, because I probably will, because I'm still reading a lot of indie books, and I thought I would just tell you about them in a really short bite size information video. That works, right? I think. But if you have enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up, it supports me on my channel. Leave me a comment down below of an indie book you've loved that I should read. I want to know. If you just want to leave me a comment, leave me any star emojis for the 5 stars. And if you want to see more of me, please consider subscribing down below and ring that notification bell to get notified every single time I upload new videos. I'm uploading every single day in the month of August, so I hope you come back tomorrow to see what I have got next. And I hope you're having a great day. So I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.